tanker caught up. In Iran-America dispute over sanctions. Iran seized the advantage. Sweet. A Marshall Islands flag oil tanker bound for the United States. In compliance of the court order, when Iran seized a Marshall Islands flag oil tanker last year, Tehran alleged the transporter had collided with and damaged an Iranian ship in the Gulf of Oman. Now, nearly 1 year later, Tehran said he is confiscating the cargo of the Advantage Suite, which was transporting oil from Kuwait to the U.S. state of Texas, in retaliation for crippling American sanctions against the Islamic Republic, as ordered by a court in Iran. The Mizan news agency, which is affiliated with Iran's judiciary, declared on March 6 that a Tehran court had ruled in favor of confiscating the oil, which is valued at around $50 million. The 55th branch of the Tehran Court of Justice said funds from the sale of the oil will be used to compensate patients suffering from epidermolysis bullosa who are suffering because of the American sanctions. The court ruled that U.S. sanctions have prevented a Swedish company from selling medicine to Iran that is used to treat the disease and caused Iranian patients severe emotional and physical damage, as the facts presented to the court revealed. EB Home, an Iranian non-governmental organization representing over 300 epidermolysis bullosa patients, had put forward a case against the United States in the Tehran court. In a statement following the court ruling, the NGO described U.S. sanctions as criminal and unilateral. U.S. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller criticized the ruling and demanded that the tanker be immediately released. Iran's continued harassment of vessels and interference with navigational rights and freedoms in the region's vital waterways is a threat to maritime security, regional stability, and the global economy, he told the press on March 6. The U.S. military said in January that Iran was holding 5 ships and over 90 members hostage from vessels it seized in April 2023. Iran said it seized the said ship in April 2023. The tanker was chartered by U.S. oil giant Chevron and was carrying oil to the U.S. port of Houston, according to ship tracking data. Iran's capture of the American ship came days after the United States seized Suez Rajan, an oil tanker that was transporting sanctioned Iranian oil to China. Months after seizing the Suez Rajan, and despite Tehran's threats, Washington begun unloading the ship's oil without authorization. In August 2023, sanctions and butterfly patience. The Tehran court's ruling has put the spotlight on the impact of U.S. sanctions on the healthcare in Iran. In 2018, then U.S. President Donald Trump unilaterally withdrew Washington from a landmark nuclear deal between Iran and world powers and reimposed American sanctions against Tehran. Iranians have witnessed rising prices and faced shortages of life-saving medicine, including drugs for cancer treatment and insulin due to U.S. sanctions. U.S. sanctions imposed on Iran exclude food and medicine, but in practice, the restrictions have made it difficult for Tehran to purchase some drugs, according to human rights groups. That includes specialized bandages produced by Swedish company Mölnlycke that are used to treat epidermolysis bullosa patients who often develop painful blisters and wounds, similar to third-degree burns. They are sometimes referred to as butterfly patients due to the fragility of their skin. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said on March 6 that U.S. sanctions have always had a carve-out for humanitarian purchases. We have never prevented medicine from reaching the Iranian people, he said. In its previously failed complaint, the NGO claimed that Mölnlycke had informed it in March 2019 correspondence that it had decided not to conduct any business with relation to Iran. For the time being, this also applies to business conducted under any form of exceptions to the U.S. economic sanctions. In a 2021 report, United Nations experts talked about the consequences of overcompliance with U.S. sanctions on butterfly kids, who they said can no longer enjoy the right to health. The following year, the Swedish government, provided financial support to the United Nations Children's Fund to procure and deliver specialized bandages to Iran. The resultant shortage of certain medicines and health products in Iran is a humanitarian concern affected by the impact of the sanctions regime on financial transactions. Sweden's then ambassador to Iran, Maciej Lentz, said, "We do hope a solution will be found and will continue to support such a solution."